into Google Cloud. Especially for the starters, it will be a good session. We will spin up a Jenkins server on Google Cloud. We will use compute component of Google Cloud. There will be only one example for this. Okay, I think it has been 4 minutes. We can start for this session. So Google Cloud, right? I am using Google Cloud on production environment, and I will mention a couple of cool properties of the Google Cloud. Before the deep diving to Google Cloud components here, let me show you the how you install the client for the Google Cloud, and how to prepare your account in order to make some queries on Google Cloud, create instances instead of querying some information about your components. First of all, when you go to this URL, Google Cloud/SDK, here you will be able to see lots of binaries according to your operating system. I am using Mac, so once you download this binary for your computer, there is only one thing you need to do. It is that executing this sh file within the this archive file. But before that, you need to have Python installed on your computer first. It should be at least 2.7. When you execute this command within this within the folder that extracted from these binaries, and that's all. Maybe you need to add this to your pet list, but that's all for the installation. Let me, I will go back to the SDK again, but let me show you some components of Google Cloud first. Here, for example, in this session, we are mostly will focus on the Google Compute Engine. There are another components here. For example, App Engine. This is a platform as a service. That means you can deploy your specific application to here. For example, if you have a Java application, you can deploy here without concerning any kind of Tomcat or something like that. It is something like Heroku that you can deploy. It has some predefined environments for your specific needs. Second component is the Google Compute Engine. Here we are able to create some instances, VM instances, in order to do some low-level operations. For example, if you have a Java application and if you need to run this on these instances, you need to install Java, you need to install some application container like Tomcat or some Jetty. But this is more low-level than the App Engine. Kubernetes Engine is the platform that you can deploy or create your Kubernetes cluster in a very easy step. But it is okay, only you know this is a platform for the Kubernetes operations. Cloud Functions is something related to, it is something like AWS Lambda, that you can write your Cloud Functions here in order to eliminate lots of instance operations. For example, I am using these components here very frequently, so you can pin these components here. For example, if you click this one, so this compute engine is pinned here. We have also VPC network here. By default, when you create an instance, VM instance on Google Cloud, there is no incoming traffic to these instances. So you need to define some rules in order to accept incoming traffic. So we will see this section after we install our Jenkins instance on Google Compute Engine. What else here that we can have a look at? Okay, there is another another section here about logging. So if you have some VM instances, some applications, you can directly redirect your logs, system logs, to these platforms. So you will be able to see your logs about, for example, if you have a Kubernetes cluster, you will be able to see your logs, and then you can group your logs by using some namespaces or by using some labels that you have already defined within your Kubernetes cluster. Container registry here, if you have Dockerized applications and you want to store your the images within a private registry, this is the best place for you. You can build and push your Docker images to here in order to use them within your entire architecture, right? It will be very fast. Endpoint is the API gateway management. You can also use this for your applications. And this is some basic components of the Google Cloud that we will mention within our mini workshop. Okay, let me go back to the SDK in order to configure our environment first. I will stop share and share another window. Okay, I hope you see my screen. It is black. It is an iTerm window. I assume that you have already downloaded the Google Cloud SDK. When you install and execute that specific SH file, you will see that the gcloud command will be available within your terminal. Here, when you say gcloud, let's say that I want to list all the instances within the Google Compute Engine, right? Here, when first of all, gcloud is my main command. And then the first parameter is the component. For example, I am using Google Compute Engine, so this first parameter will be compute. Here, my resource type is instances because I want to do some operations on the instances, instance resource. When we try to list our instances, you will see that there is no account here because you need to have account first in order to do some queries on your Google Cloud account, right? If it is the first time you download this SDK, you need to execute this command. When you do this, it will create some configurations for you, and then it will redirect you to the login account. Since I have already done this, I will use this command, gcloud out login. When you do this, it will provide a link to you. I am copying this one, and I will open this link within a browser. Maybe you are not seeing this, but there will be opened Google account window here. I am selecting one of my account and allowing the permissions. Okay, when I go back to my main window, you will see that, okay, you are logged into the system as this email, and then you are ready to go with your Google Cloud account. Okay, let's try the command again. When you do this, you will see that, okay, you have no default project. No problem. Let me set this one also. I have a project called this one. Okay, default project also, core project also set up. And then when I execute this one, okay, I have 0 instances at this time. So it is the time for creating a sample instance in order to deploy our Jenkins instance in this VM instance. In order to do that, I will go back to the Google Cloud Console UI. I will stop sharing and then open the Google Cloud Console again. Okay, I hope you are already seeing my console. When you go to the Google Cloud Console by using your Google account, you will, if it is the first time that you are using this console, you need to create a project first. I have a default project already, so I will directly continue with the components here. When you go to this section again, compute engine and VM instance, as you can see, there is no instance here. So when you click create, you need to fill some inputs here. Let us fill them one by one. So this will be Jenkins, for example, 10. You can select your zone according to your need. I will leave it as default. There will be no change here. Here you can see some machine types. As you can see, they are grouped according to your some specific needs. For example, if you need some here, for example, on this section, there are some machine types that have basic CPU types. But here, when it comes to this group, you will see there are machine types that lots of RAM, lots of memory here. For example, the biggest instance here has this memory, but in this group, you will see it is doubled. This is high memory, this is standard section, and this third group is specific to high CPU operations. Again, I will select the default one here. By default, it has 3.75 gigabyte memory, but you can customize that. You can customize your memory here, you can customize CPU. And also, you are able to customize your disk, but in next section. Okay, I am leaving that as default. Here, you can select your operating. When you open this side, for example, the Debian is the default one, but you can also select Ubuntu, the latest long-term support version. That is very easy. And by default, again, it has 10 gigabytes of hard disk. So you can change this one also. You can change the disk type. By default, it is standard persistent disk, but you can make it as SSD if you have a if you need a faster disk here. Okay, I am selecting this one. I will let us keep this as default. As I said earlier, the default behavior of this instance is there is no incoming traffic, right? When you select those two options, there will be some incoming traffic by using port 80 and port port 443, one for HTTP and one for HTTPS. I am unselecting this one also. And when you click create here, there will be some VM instance creation here. In general, I am using Google Cloud SDK. Also, we can do this operation by using a Google Cloud SDK. You can have a look at the documentation in order to create a VM instance by using command line, but also you can see some links here. For example, when you click here, command line, it will automatically populate a command line command by using these form values. I will simply copy this one, and then I will go back to my terminal again. Most probably you will not see this, but I am trying to execute this command on my command line. Let's have a look at this status of this. It is not executed yet. Okay, I see that it is created. Let's check this screen again. As you can see, our VM instance is ready to use for our purposes. So we have a VM instance here, and after this point, we will use our terminal in order to do some operations, okay? When you create your instance, there are a couple of ways to connect this instance. When you click here, you will see 4 options. I will select this one, view gcloud command. Let us copy this one, and then I will stop share this screen and then go to the terminal again. Okay, I hope you see my screen. I copied the command here in terminal, and that's it. We are inside our VM instance. For example, I am saying this is the default username for my account. So we have a VM instance on Google Cloud right now. That means we are ready to deploy our Jenkins instance on this VM instance. I selected Jenkins because most of the time we are using that. We are using that in order to do some continuous delivery, continuous integration for our application, right? As you may already know, the Jenkins depends on some platforms. For example, in order to use Jenkins, you need to Java 8 installed first. Let us start with the Java installation first. In order to do that, I will add some repository informations to my here there is a repository information file. I will add 2 resources here. Okay. So we have repository information for Java. Okay. So this is for key section. In order to get some package updates here, and access these repositories, you need to have this case inserted into your system. Let us refresh our system by using apt-get update command. And finally, for the Java, I will try to install that. Okay, let's agree with these licenses. It is about to finish. Okay, that's all. We have Java here. So we are ready to install Jenkins right now. I will use their binaries in order to, no, I will use package management again in order to install their packages into our operating system. First of all, I am getting their keys and then simply add to our system. That's okay. As a second step, I will create inside this source list file, I will add Jenkins specific destinations, which is this one. And apt-get update. Finally, I will execute my command in order to install Jenkins. I am doing these operations manually because I'm trying to impose the main logic of the Google Cloud usage. In the upcoming webinars, I will try to show you how to do this in an automated way by using some, there will be two sections. One section will be about some Dockerized way, and the second way will be some by using Ansible. By using Ansible, we will spin up VM instances automatically, and then we will install Jenkins inside these instances. So we have Jenkins right now. And let me grab that within our processes. Okay, as you can see, we have Jenkins process here. Maybe we can have a look at if it works or not. Okay, it works because we have not authenticated within this application. Let us try to access the Jenkins dashboard. In order to access Jenkins dashboard, we will need some keys. So in order to access this key, you may need to have a look at some system files that designed for Jenkins. It is located under this file, cat lib Jenkins secrets and initial admin password. When you do this, you will see the initial admin password for the Jenkins. So I will copy this one, and then I will stop sharing again in order to switch back to our Google Compute Engine. I hope you see my screen again. Okay. When you have a look at here, you will see two kind of IPs here. This is the internal IP, which is private to you within your VM instances. And this is the external IP for my application. So if I try to access 8080 port here, this will be a never-ending request to our application. Is there anyone that can explain the reason for this? Why I am not able to access this port? I want to access this port because the Jenkins lives there. But why? Why I am not able to access? Yes, Asim, you are correct. By default, it is blocked. So we need to add some firewall rules in order to enable this port for this instance. So thanks, Asim, for your great answer. I will continue with the our network side. So when you have a look at here, you will see firewall rules, VPC network, and firewall rules. When you say create rule here, we will provide a firewall rule name here. For example, Jenkins 8080.
There's nothing in your music library.
Jenkins 8080. Jenkins firewall rule. So this rule for allowing some ports. So I will select this option. It is default. Okay. So here we need to provide some IP ranges. So I will not provide any kind of IP specific range because anyone who uses internet will be able to access this instance. So it will be 0000. That means anybody can access to this instance. But what about the ports? It will be in a format like this, TCP 8080. So TPC, not TPC, TCP. Yes. Let's say you need another port for this operation. You can divide them by using semicolon here and then add another one like this. But we will not need this one, so only the 8080 port is okay. Let me say this, Jenkins 8080. This is the tag of this network. Let us wait to finish this operation. Okay, we created our firewall rules, but it is not working again because we need to apply this firewall rule to VM instances we need, right? I'm going to this section again. I will edit this instance. When you say edit here, you will see network tags section here. Jenkins 8080 and save. Okay, we have enabled the tag. Okay, we are in. So our Jenkins is ready, and then let me provide the password again. Okay, first of all, let me be sure it is sharing the screen. Okay, when you provide this one, never, not now. I will select install suggested plugins. This is they are the very basic plugins that you will need your daily continuous integration adventures. So I suggest you to select all of them, suggested ones. By the way, during the installation, if you have any kind of question, you can ask. I will do my best in order to answer. Okay, you can create a new user for your needs, or you can continue as admin here. For example, let us create a new user. I will provide a password. Save and finish. Our Jenkins is ready. In order to test it, let me create a new job. This will be a freestyle project. Here, I will add an execute shell. For example, name is mi echo hello. Okay, when we have a look at the console output, you will see that, hello, my name is Jenkins, because this Jenkins instance is automatically run by a specific user, Jenkins, called Jenkins. It is automatically created during the Jenkins installation. So that's all with the webinar here, according to very basic introduction for the Google Cloud Console. If you have any kind of question, I will be happy to answer that. In order not being hacked, I will destroy my instance. It's still destroying. I think there is no other question. Okay, you are welcome. Yeah, okay. I will send you, we will send you a demo. We already recorded this one. I will send that video. And beside that, I will provide you a document. You will have all the steps included that document. you will also have that. And also, as I said to you, there will be another webinar for this, but it will be more automated than this one. Very specific to Zoom. For the demo, did you use a paid account? Yeah. Okay, VM instance also deleted. Okay, guys, thank you for your time, and hope you will have a good night here. Let me check if there is another question. Okay. We are planning to do this monthly at most, because sometimes it will be very hard to set up this twice per month because we are very busy sometimes. So at most we will do this per month, and there will be cool topics about this. By the way, our main focus here is to explain some cloud environment. Also, for example, in some of our webinars, there will be AWS, but we will practice some technologies on there. For example, on next webinar, I will use Ansible in order to automate Google Cloud, but in next sections, maybe we will use Kubernetes, and we will show you how to deploy your Kubernetes cluster within the AWS, for example. At first, a couple of the webinar, we selected the Google Cloud, and the next following webinars, we will use another cloud platforms. Okay, cool. Okay, everyone, have a nice day and have a nice night. All of you, thank you for your time. See you. Bye.